onto the smoke.
These people want to end us!
Smoke has decided their way of living.
These lies my whole life. It's time for you to make a choice.
Netflix's Uglies is based on Scott Westerfeld's book series, and with the first movie setting up the story, fans are wondering what's next for Tally in Pretties. The film ends with Tally choosing to surrender to Dr. Cable to be made pretty in order to help Maddie test the cure for brain lesions that suppress creativity in Pretties. We know Tally gets her wish walking through her gorgeous new apartment with a stunning face, but an ugly scar that reminds her of her true self. The sequel will likely follow Tally's journey in New Pretty Town, her escape, and the drama with David. So here's everything we know about Uglies 2 First Look and the drama coming our way. First off, it's important to note that Netflix's Uglies and the book will have some differences when it comes to the Pretty sequel. In the movie, Paris was turned into a special and supposedly died after falling off a dam, but that didn't happen in the book. In fact, Paris stays in New Pretty Town in the original story and doesn't come back until Pretties. So while Paris played a bigger role in the book's sequel, the movie may not feature him as much, though his return is still possible since specials are almost indestructible. The ending of Uglies teased Tally's new life in New Pretty Town, and the Pretties movie will likely explore this further. In the book, Tally forgets everything about the smoke after the Pretty operation thanks to the brain lesions. She and Shay hang out, drinking champagne and obsessing over their next party outfits. While Tally doesn't have a scar in the book when she becomes pretty, she still feels off, realizing that the lesions didn't erase her worries and anxieties. Despite her attempts to fit in, she keeps saying the wrong things, and Shay and Paris, acting as the perfect bubbleheads, assure her it'll get better once she's part of the best clique in New Pretty Town, the Crims. Pretties picks up with Tally stressing over what to wear to an important party that could determine whether she gets into the Crims, a rebellious clique made up of pretties with a rough past. Tally easily qualifies, especially after her stunt with a bungee jacket, but she soon finds out fitting in isn't as simple as joining the right group. Zane, the Crims' leader, pushes her to think beyond her pretty mindset, challenging her to remember who she was before the operation. At the party, Tally sees Croy, still an ugly, who tells her he's hidden something important for her, though her lesions make it hard for her to act on it. Zane doesn't know about the lesions, but he's figured out something's off with the pretties' minds. He realized that breaking the rules, avoiding alcohol, eating little, and overindulging in caffeine helped him think more clearly, which is why he formed the Crims around these behaviors. After accepting Tally into the group, Zane starts suspecting there's more to her story and encourages her to remember her time in the smoke and everything that happened before her operation. That said, thanks to Zane and a few of his kisses, Tally starts remembering David, though she still can't remember what happened to him or how she ended up in New Pretty Town. Zane keeps pushing her, and eventually she recalls Croy's clue about something hidden in the city she needs to find. This leads them to climb a signal tower, and the high altitude helps them think clearly, even with the lesions. When they get Croy's package, they finally get a clear look at things. Over time, Tally and Zane grow closer as their minds clear up. They find a letter from Ugly Tally written before she gave herself up to Dr. Cable. The letter also includes 2 pills: Maddie's cure to remove the lesions and restore the Pretty's original minds. Tally is hesitant to take both at first, but they decide to each take one. As their minds continue to clear, they grow even more romantic and start making plans to escape New Pretty Town together. Since Tally and Zane are out of pills to give their pretty friends, they find other ways to get the Crims' adrenaline pumping to temporarily clear their minds. They pull pranks like smashing ice on a skating rink, causing everyone to fall safely with bungee jackets, which gets their hearts racing and helps them think clearly. This works so well that Shay starts to remember her anger towards Tally before becoming a pretty, and the conflict from their ugly days resurfaces. After a fight with Tally, Shay disappears, only to return later in a disturbing way. She starts a group called the Cutters, where they cut their arms to force their minds to work. Disturbed by this, Tally decides they can't wait any longer to escape New Pretty Town. They need to get to the new smoke and find more pills for the pretties. Escaping isn't easy though. This time, Tally and Zane are fitted with tight bracelets that track their movements. The only way to remove them is by heating them up enough to slip them off so they steal fire-resistant gloves, hijack hot air balloons, and hold their hands over the flames. With hoverboards in tow, Tally, Zane, and the other crims except Shay and her cutters escape in the balloons, jumping out once they're far enough away. Zane and the group head to the rusty ruins and the new smoke, while Tally gets lost in the woods. After an adventurous detour, she finally reunites with Zane, and awkwardly with David. By the time Tally reconnects with David, she remembers everything about her time in the smoke, including her brief romance with him. However, that doesn't change the fact that she's now in love with Zane. She's still hurt that David never came for her like he promised in Uglies. Instead, it was Croy who brought the cure to New Pretty Town. David explains that he wanted to bring the pills, but the heat in the new smoke was just too intense. They make awkward amends and travel together to the new smoke. Tally is excited to see Zane again, but she's devastated when she learns he's been suffering since taking the cure. Zane's headaches have been getting worse, and it turns out that the pills they shared were taken incorrectly. One pill contained more nanos to remove the pretty lesions, while the other was supposed to stop those nanos from damaging the brain. Tally took the second pill, which had no effect on its own, while Zane took the first, causing serious damage to his brain. Maddie, David's mom, tries to help, but Zane's motor functions will never fully recover. Tally feels guilty for sharing the pills with him, realizing that she didn't actually take the cure herself. She simply used her willpower to overcome the lesions. But before she can process this, they discover that Zane has a transmitter in his jaw, signaling Dr. Cable's location. The villain had let them escape New Pretty Town so she could track them to the new smoke. David, Maddie, and the rest of the new smoke manage to escape just before special circumstances arrives, but Zane's weakened state keeps him from following. Tally, being stubborn, decides to stay behind with him, which frustrates David. However, Tally gets a shock when Dr. Cable doesn't come alone. She brings Shay, who's now a newly surged special, along with her cutters. Shay, reveling in her newfound power and clarity, tells Tally that she won't be turned into a bubblehead again. Instead, she'll become what all the pretties who can think past the lesions become: special. The book ends on this cliffhanger, mirroring the end of Uglies when Tally demands to become pretty. Now Pretties ends with Shay telling Tally she'll become special. This sets the stage for the third book, Specials, where Tally undergoes yet another drastic transformation. With the changes in Netflix's Uglies, especially the reveal that Paris became a special, adapting the third book into a movie could be tricky, but there's still a chance that a Pretties movie could happen. And that's that for today's video. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next one. Your suggestions for future videos are always welcome in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to stay in the loop.